Hey loves, welcome to another Tuesday Talks with Tiff. Today I'd like to talk to you about one of my favorite things, which is the full moon. As an empath and wildly sensitive soul, I have been following moon rituals and things for quite some time. As an empath, I want to just touch on something briefly before we dive into the full moon ritual that I would like to bring to you today to help you let go of 2020. So, as an empath, wildly sensitive soul, we're not just sensitive to other people's emotions and things of that nature. It's actually we're sensitive to the energies of everything around us. That includes the moon. So within the moon cycles, you're going to notice different shifts and changes. So everybody's a little bit different in how they're affected. You may be sleepy, you may be wide awake, or you just can't sleep at night, you're wired, and you just feel this energy surging through, like you can get a million things done at once. So that's one thing. You might also have physical symptoms like a headache or aches and pains, or just overly fatigued. Nothing major, it just honor where you're at. I use the moon cycles when I feel called to for extra times of self-care. I mean, there's sometimes I navigate the moon cycles really well, and then there's other times that I don't. So it's just however you're feeling on that day, use that time for extra self-care. During the moon cycles, I like to make moon water, where I take a glass container, put crystals in there. One thing I want you to note is please make sure before putting any crystals into water that it is safe for them to be in water. Sometimes there can be things that are emitted through the process of having it in the water. You don't want to poison yourself with the freaking crystal. So, you know what I mean? Like in your water. So, or you don't want any extras that you don't need within your body. So just wanted to note that. You leave that container, glass container, out in the moonlight, and then you bring it back in and drink it. You can use it for any different things. You can water your plants with it, you do whatever you like with it. But I usually drink mine. So there's that. Meditation, making sure you're grounded. Salt water or Epsom salt baths with essential oils are always great also to release any stagnant energy during the moon cycle. So those are just a few tips that will help you navigate if you are feeling energy sensitive during any phase of the moon, whether it be new or full. So now let's dive into the fun part. So letting go of 2020. This has been a pretty much a shit show here, right? Like, it's interesting. I feel like it's all perspective. Like, you can learn and grow during those times of challenges, or you can just decide to let it create your reality. And I'd rather learn and grow and create something different the next step I take. So let's dive into what this is all about. So when you do this ritual that I'm going to share with you now, in your own time and space, I want you to just find a quiet place where you can play like meditation music. I would say nothing with words. You can light some candles, burn some incense. You can also Palo Santo or sage your space to cleanse it, as well as, just get into a place where you can be quiet, and reflect inward, connect to your body and breath. That's huge. Become aware of the sensation in your body, your heartbeat, so you can really just feel centered and present before you start this activity. I also ask that you would have a pen and paper handy, so that you can write down these questions for reflection and how you are going to create your magic in 2021. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is start out with celebrating 2020. So what are you honoring and celebrating that happened for you in 2020? That's huge, because I want to give you a little bit of a qualifier here with celebrating, because most of us believe that, it has to be a grand celebration, something big. But here's the thing, as a society as a whole, we do not celebrate enough. Like, we do not celebrate the little things in every day. Like, think about how much your life would change if you actually took a moment every morning and just celebrate the shit out of it. You woke up and your eyes opened. Celebrate our physical body, the things that it does for us on a daily basis. Like, you don't have to ask your body to breathe. You just breathe. You don't have to ask your body to do all of these amazing functions that happen internally that we don't think about. It just does it. celebrate that. Celebrate the fact that you are on this planet at this time. I mean, those are so simple. Celebrate a blue sky, a sunset, the beautiful moon as our full moon tonight. There are just a million things. So it's always the little things. Take a moment to just surrender to that and celebrate any little thing that shows up for you in your day, any sign, any synchronicity. Just celebrate it like you won the lottery. Gratitude and celebration are going to draw in the beautiful things in your life even more, because you're already celebrating and grateful for what you already have. So that's huge, right? It's just something to be aware of. So the next question is, what was your greatest lesson from 2020? And then once you have that, the next question is what did you learn? See, these two pieces are key, because a lot of times we can have all these things happen within our life, and we just get stuck in the experience. Like it's like a revolving door. You don't ever go past it to see, okay, yeah, this experience happened, but you know what, even though it was challenging, it sucked. I felt broken at the time. Regardless of what it is, right? You can be in that space, but you can step back, observe it, and like, okay, what did I learn during this time? How is this helping me to move forward on my path? So really reflect on a deeper level. Okay, what did I learn? You have to know what the lesson was, what you learned, and then the important part is taking action. So the thing is we can be aware that we, completed this lesson, right? And this is our biggest lesson, we know it, and we could have said, okay, I learned from it, but okay, how are we gonna step forward in saying this? This is the big one, so listen carefully. How are you going to avoid recreating this situation should circumstances arrive that are similar to what you encountered at this time? That's key. They say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I was like a tongue twister today, but that's the case. Like, if you're not planning for how you're gonna navigate past this, like, okay, I'm done with this. I learned this lesson. Yeah, this is what I deeply learned, and I'm not creating that again. So what things are you going to set into place that will keep you from repeating past mistakes? So think about that. That's huge. So now that we have celebrated the things, what we've learned during this time, because actually you can celebrate lessons learned too. That's a huge thing to celebrate. So it may not seem weird as to why would that be in the celebrate section rather than the release section of this, but the reason for that is because our lessons, our growth, and our action for the next step is a huge thing to celebrate. So just awareness, perspective, how we can shift our thinking into realizing that, okay, some of these things that may have felt so hard and so heavy at the time have really come to be one of the most fruitful experiences of our existence. And when you can get to that place, it's pure magic. Okay, now on to releasing. So what is it that you need to let go of in 2020? What is that last thing that you're just like, okay, I'm done with this. There's been so much, whatever it is, write it down, really dive in deep. And one thing I want to encourage you as you're going through this activity is to write until you feel complete. Don't stop it, don't mince words. This is for you. This is an activity that energetically is releasing your the year of 2020, but it's also mentally, as you write it down, releasing it. And then as we feel into things and release the emotions, it's emotional as well. So really just do this for you. Don't hold back and dive deep. So the next question is what do you feel that I was gonna say that you can finally let go of and bury for 2020. Sometimes we get stuck in our little loops and cycles and limiting beliefs, like, oh, I can't get rid of this, I can't. You can. You definitely can. Like, it's time to let these things go. Obviously, what comes forward is for you to let go. So really dive in, and we're gonna bury the hatchet, so to speak. What are the things rather, because there might be more than one, that you need to bury, pretty much. Wash away, let it wash away like the waves on the sand. What are you finally ready to let go of? And check in with the feeling sensations within your body. When we write something or when something comes up for us to release, you want to make sure that you're not feeling any tension within your body. See, a lot of times when we feel the tension in our body, it's actually resistance to letting go. If you feel that, I encourage you to take a moment and also side journal aside from this. What's coming up for you around resistance? Ask yourself questions like, what would happen if I let go of this? Of this belief, whatever it is that's coming up as far as resistance. Write those things and ask yourself questions on, okay, why is it coming up for me? Why do I want to hold on to this? Sometimes we want to hold on to things because we don't know who we are without them. They've been a part of us for so long. That's not a reason to hang on to something, whether that be a person, a relationship, or anything else in your life. Letting go of that attachment to the circumstance or outcome is huge. So that's good. Moving on to the next question is, what emotions and feelings do you need to release from 2020? And with this part, when you really feel into where it's located, like I said, within your body, because we store trapped emotions within our body. When you feel into that, notice it, breathe into it, ask questions. I want you to also cry. You can freaking swear, laugh, sigh, whatever you feel the need to do to release emotions, do so. That's really important. It helps you release it from the body physically as well as energetically. So, yep, that is that. Now, the fun part, yay! Creating the magic of 2021. So what I invite you to do for this is you can do this in a couple of ways. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's just basically connect with what feels good for you. So you are going to think about what you are wanting to create in 2021, what that looks like for you, what it feels like. So you can take I'm going to call it a magic box. Any box, anything that you want. It can be something you have, it can be something you go out and buy, totally your call, or you can create an altar, sacred space somewhere in your home that does the same thing. So basically, I want you to take either crystals or objects or flowers or anything that would represent what it is that you are creating for 2021. Also, really take a few moments to write down your intentions, how you want to feel, and really just close your eyes and connect to your breath again and visualize the existence, the whole year of 2020 from start to finish, how it's going to go for you. You create your reality. So for you to do this exercise now, before the year begins, you are calling in those things to you like a magnet. You have that ability because you are pure freaking magic. So now it's time to remember that. So here you go. So now that you've done that, now you're going to go into the next step. And once you have all of that, you can put it in your box. You can also come back to this, or like I said, the altar. You can also come back to this activity at any time and just review what you wrote within that box or within the altar, just to keep it fresh in your mind. You can do, like I said, the visualization. However, I do recommend that you write that out as well, because that will bring you back. Like if you do it every full moon throughout the year, or even do it on the new moon and the full moon, to really call in once again what you are creating in that energy of 2021. So I hope that you have enjoyed this activity. Happy New Year to everyone. I am wishing you a new year full of peace, love, and all the blessings. Love you all. Have a great one.